Welcome to yoga. My name is Katy Mair. Today we're going to do some hatha yoga. So we're going to go at a steady pace so you'll be able to keep up quite easily. So join me as we come back down to the floor to start off. Alright, let's take a lie down and just spend a few moments quietening our mind and relaxing our body. So just bring your hands out to the sides, palms up. Walk your shoulder blades downwards so they sit nice and flat, and nod your chin to your chest. Just lengthen through the back of the neck. Just let your fingers curl comfortably, and let's drop the feet outwards and try to just move your feet around a bit and try to relax your inner thighs and let your hips relax. Now I want you to start focusing on the breathing at the top of your chest. Now bring that breath down to your rib cage. And then bring it down to your belly, below your navel. And as you breathe into your belly, you should find that you're getting a nice stretch around that area and releasing any tension. If you feel your neck is very tight, just move your head from side to side 2 or 3 times. Now focus on relaxing the shoulders down, relaxing the tummy, relaxing the arms, relaxing the legs. Keep breathing down to the belly for a few more breaths. Now bring your arms over your head, point your toes away and take a nice big stretch. And then breathe out. Flex your feet, bring your hands to your sides and breathe in, arms overhead again. Draw your shoulder blades down, tuck your chin in. Let the mid-back lift up from the floor. As you breathe in, let your ribs expand and breathe out, hands to side. Flex your feet. Let's do that again. Breathe in, arms overhead, point the toes away. Nice big stretch. Can you feel yourself grow a little longer as you breathe in? And then breathe out, bring your hands to your sides. Let's do that one more time. Breathe in, arms overhead. Lift your arms over your head. You can hold one hand, put one hand into the other, and hold your fingers around the palms and fingers. So let's take our left foot and bring it to the end position. We're going to push with that foot and roll over to our right. Now I want you to lift your knee up and push your hips forward. That will give you a better stretch than if you just flop your knee down. So push your hips forward. Nice big stretch. And then we're going to roll onto our back and change legs over. Extend the opposite leg. Okay, and roll to the other side. Keep your knee lifted. Squeeze your buttocks. Push your hips forward. And then roll onto your back again. Okay, bring your hands back down to your sides and let's bring those knees to the chest. Flatten your tummy down when you bring the knees to the chest and then just place your hands around your knees. Now as you flatten your tummy down, you should feel your lower back sitting comfortably on the floor. So let's take a little rock from side to side. This is a wonderful stretch to loosen out any tightness in your lower back. Now we're going to do a short sequence. So we're going to breathe in and out, then breathe in, lift the legs up to the ceiling, arms over the head. Now walk your shoulder blades down so they sit very flat. Reach your legs up, point through your big toe, slide your kneecaps down towards your hips and firm up your thighs. And then breathe out, bring your knees to chest, breathe in, feet to floor. Breathe out. Lift your arms over your head and come into our bridge position. Squeeze the buttocks, bring the inner thighs a little closer so you're getting a firm buttocks. And then we're going to breathe in and breathe out. Knees back to chest. Let's do that again. Breathe in. Arms overhead, legs to ceiling. Breathe out. Knees to chest. Breathe in. Feet to floor, arms by sides. Breathe out, bridge pose. arms over the head, and breathe in, roll yourself down, breathe out, bring the knees back to the chest. We're going to do it 2 more times. Okay, breathe in, legs to ceiling, arms overhead. Breathe out, knees to chest. Breathe in, feet to floor. Breathe out, bridge pose. Breathe in, back to floor. Breathe out, knees to chest. And last time. Breathe in, arms overhead. Stretch those legs up to the ceiling. Breathe out, knees to chest. Breathe in, feet to floor. Breathe out, arms overhead. Hips lifted in bridge pose. Breathe in, hands to sides, back on the floor, and breathe out, knees back to chest. So let's give those knees a nice little rock at this point. Okay, stretch the back out again. And now we're going to lift those legs up to the ceiling 1 more time. Flatten the tummy down, make sure the shoulders are in the right place. We're going to bring the arms over the head, chin to chest, extend the arms, and breathe out, arms to sides. Let's look at the thighs. Now make sure you drop your shoulders down, flatten your tummy, and lift a bit higher. Keep stretching those legs up to the ceiling. And let's take 3 big breaths here. Now lower one foot down, lower the other down, and you should be in a seated position. All right, let's cross one ankle over the other. Lift the arms up. Reach up to the ceiling. Now I want you to try and lift your spine up. Don't have a bent spine. Lift up nice and tall. And then as you breathe out, I want you to take your left hand on your right shin, right hand over the top. So your ankles should be crossed over, your wrist crossed over. We're going to bend forward. Now, just leave your hands on your shins if that's as far as you can go. Make sure your elbows are bent and your shoulders are soft and downwards. You can also flex your feet and hold the outer edges of the feet if that's comfortable for you to do so. Now, take 3 big breaths into your back. Okay, let's release the feet and we're going to lift up. All right, let's bring our feet to the end position. Lifting up nice and tall, we've got a boat pose. So come onto the balls of the feet, lift up. Now lift the top of your chest up so you keep your spine nice and tall. Okay, lift one foot up and then lift the other. If you can't quite manage to lift your feet up, just do what you can. Now extend the arms past the thighs, alongside your calves. Okay, now if you would like to challenge yourself a little bit more, we're going to lift those arms up. Okay, so how are you managing? Now from here, we're going to take our hands, hold the outer edge of the feet for a scale pose. So lift those legs up, shoulder blades down, tummy draws inwards, and we're going to nod our chin to our chest. Now the scale pose is exactly what it is, a balance. So we want to make sure you're balancing very evenly. Now if you do drop out of this position, just come and join us again if you can. Trying it out is much better than doing nothing. So just keep trying and you'll get it. If you're quite comfortable in this position, just close your eyes and that will challenge you a little bit more in your balance. Three big breaths into your back. Okay, lovely. Let's lower those feet down and we're going to extend the left leg and bring the right foot to the thigh. Lifting up nice and tall in the spine, we're going to twist. So take the left hand on the right knee, right arm behind the back. You can place it on the floor, press down, stretch the spine up and look in front of your shoulder. Now don't forget about the opposite leg, do flex it. Make sure you're working your shin and calf. And of course, if you're feeling quite confident about keeping your spine up tall without assistance, take your arm behind your back and hold your opposite thigh. Now stay in this position and take some big breaths into your rib cage. Now we're going to take the arm from behind our back and bring it over our head into a twist. Sorry, a side bend. Draw the shoulder blades down. Gaze under your arms if you can. Stretch your arm out so you've got a nice big stretch in that arm, and you can look sideways or down to the floor if that suits you better. Take big breaths right into the sides of the ribs. Can you feel those ribs stretch open as you breathe? All right, let's take 2 more breaths. And lifting up, let's bring that hand down. All right, we're going to extend our legs again. This time we're taking the left ankle over the right. And then sitting up nice and tall. Let's breathe in. Lift the arms up, palms forward. Remember, shoulder blades downwards. Don't lift the shoulders up because your back will round out. So slide them downwards and let's breathe out. This time your right hand goes on your left shin. Left hand over the top. Hold the ankles. Relax the shoulders. Draw the tummy in. See if you can hold the outer edges of your feet. Breathe into your back and tuck your chin towards your chest to lengthen the back of the neck. Big breaths into the back. Can you feel that nice big stretch in the extended leg? Okay, let's walk our hands back up and we're going to uncross those legs, coming back into our boat pose. So hands behind the knees and walk your feet back to your hips and rest on your toes. So let's lift one foot up and then the other, and lift up the chest, the top of the chest, and bring the arms forward. Now if you feel like you can, take your hands behind your head, but drop your shoulder blades downwards. Okay, let's stay here and breathe. 3 big breaths. And let's take the hands around the outer edge of the feet and lift them up for scale pose. Now your legs don't have to be straight. Draw the navel in, stretch the arms, round out the back, so you should feel a nice big stretch between your shoulder blades. Breathe into your back. Close your eyes if you can. How's that balance going today? All right, let's bring those legs down. Now I'm going to move a little bit to the side. So I'm extending a right leg and then bringing the left foot to my thigh. Make sure you flex this foot and keep the toes pointing up to the ceiling. Let's try our twist. Lift up the top of the rib cage and twist. Right hand on left knee, other hand behind the back. Lift up tall. And of course, if you can manage, arm around the back, hold the thigh. Look just in front of your shoulder and drop your chin slightly towards your collarbone. Let's take 3 big breaths around our rib cage. Okay, if you can, then take the arm from behind your back and bend sideways. Gaze under your arm to the ceiling. Stretch your arm out. So that will help you stretch out the side of your body. Breathe into the ribs that are open, the ones that are facing the ceiling. And take 3 big breaths. Keep them slow and even. Okay, beautiful. All right, so we're going to bring our knees around and come on to the hands and knees. Spread your fingers out. We've got a cat-cow pose. So have your little fingers on the outer edge of the mat and spread your fingers out. Press your palms down nice and firmly if you can. All right, knees directly under the hips. Now let's breathe in, cat arch. Stretch the back right up. And breathe out, cow pose. So slide the shoulders to hips, tuck the toes under, look forward, and tuck your toes under. It's a lovely stretch for calves and shins. Breathe in, cat arch. Big stretch up and breathe out, cow pose. Let's do that again. Breathe in, cat arch. And breathe out, cow pose. Now I'm going to turn and face you because we're going to do alternate arm leg raises. All right, so let's take the right arm, left leg, and stretch back. Beautiful. Hand down and leg down, and other side. Okay, beautiful. So if you get the idea, I should change to sideways, then you get the sideways view as well. Okay, let's keep going. And breathe out. And breathe out. Okay, one more time each side. Now take that big stretch and then put your hand and knee down. Don't shorten your stretch. Really reach out. And then we're stretching our back muscles and working our buttocks. Now we're going to go diagonal. So let's breathe in, reach the arm forward and back, and then just go to a diagonal position, and then forward and back. Now, this time I'll face forward again, so you can see that diagonal. Extend your opposite arm and leg, and then bring it out diagonal, and then forward and back, and down. Now, this time we're going to add on a little challenge. So breathing in, extend the arm and leg forward and back, then out to a diagonal, and then we're going to continue to move the arm and the leg out sideways. You can flex your foot if you like. Now, if this is too strong, you can bend your knee. So feel free to do that. If you can, leg extended out, tummy in, shoulders drawn away from ears. Let's take 2 breaths. And then bring your arm and leg forward and back and bring them down. We're going to try that on the other side. Okay, breathing in, arm and leg forward and back. Breathe out to a diagonal and continue out to the side. Flex your foot, it's quite nice. Now, of course, bend the knee if you can't manage. Otherwise, extending the leg and the arm, keep your back flat. How are you going? And then bring your arm to diagonal, forward and back, and bring your hand and your knee down. I'm going to turn back sideways now because I'm going to flex my feet and then walk my hands back so I'm in a squat. All right, so have your little toes on the outer edge of the mat. Now, of course, if you don't like squatting, just come into a cat position and then you can lift up with us. So we're just going to lift up into a forward bend. All right, so lift the hips up. Give the legs a nice stretch, and let's squat down again. Can we do it another time? Lift up and squat down. Now one more time. We're going to lift our hips up, walk the hands forward into a down dog. And straighten up your feet. And we're going to move the heels up and down. So nice stretch into the backs of the ankles and into the calves. All right, so lower the heels towards the floor, slide shoulders towards hips and tighten up the tummy. Spread your fingers right out. Let your head hang down. Now slide the kneecap up towards your hips and let's open the backs of the knees. Then push through the heels of your hands, sliding the shoulder blades downwards so we can flatten out the back. And we don't want to have shoulders near ears because we get this rounded look. So we're stretching back, and you feel that big stretch in the back of the legs. And you're tightening up the back of the upper arms. So you should be working quite strongly. This is not a very relaxing position necessarily. Let's take 3 breaths. All right, let's take a walk with our feet to our hands. And just have them comfortably apart. And let your upper body hang down quite loosely. Okay, swing your arms side to side. Just nice and loose. That helps to stretch out the lower back and each side of the back. You can even hold your elbows. Now move your head forward and back in a yes movement. And then side to side in a no movement. And that helps loosen up the neck. Okay, lower your arms down, let's breathe in and breathe out. Skip the belly under and let's slide our hips forward. So make sure you squeeze the buttocks a little, stack the spine up, lift the shoulders to ears, roll them back and draw them downwards. All right, now we're in a perfect position for our sun salute. So let's go into a mountain pose and we're going to do 4 sun salutes. So we're going to go at the pace of our breath, we're not rushing. So bring your feet together as close as you can, but just don't let the bones rub. Now if that's more comfortable to have your feet wider, just put them there. Now spread your toes out and lift your kneecaps upwards, firming up your buttocks and tightening up the tummy so your tummy's nice and flat in line with your hips. And lift your shoulders to ears, roll them back, draw them downwards, lifting up the top of the rib cage, just the top of the chest here. And chin tucks in and crown of head lifts up. It should feel like you're stretching the back of your neck. It's like somebody pulls it upwards, and that will help to lengthen your spine. Arms are a little bit away from the sides of the body. Let the fingers relax. Let's close our eyes. If you'd like to keep your eyes open, please do. And just notice what your balance is like today. Sometimes we sway a little. Sometimes we're steady as a rock. So I want you to find that nice steady place. And if you focus just below where your sternum is, just a bit below that, that will be where the best focus is for your centre of gravity. All right, now let's rotate the palms forward, thumbs outwards. Now feel your chest widen as you do this, but don't pop your ribs. Keep them flat and your tummy firm. Okay, palms out. So when we bring palms forward, we're going to stretch our fingers out. Okay, beautiful. Now, sun salute. Now draw your arms back like a circle, half circle, up to the ceiling. And if you can, gaze between your palms and then swan dive. Come into a nice flat back position before you go into a forward fold. Then flat back, hands on shins, just as a warm-up position. Move the body weight into the middle of the feet and breathe out, forward fold. Now we're going to step back into plank. So let's pause here a moment because it's our first plank. Now you could go onto your knees if you want to. Otherwise, slide your shoulder blades downwards, tighten up your tummy, push through your heels so your thighs firm up. All right, let's take 3 breaths. Now remember to look in front of your fingertips, don't look at your toes. Now you can bring your knees down to the floor and lower yourself down and then breathe in cobra and breathe out down dog. Pause here for a moment, you can just move a little bit in your down dog if you want to. Okay, we're going to crouch, look between our thumbs, step out, right foot forward, left foot forward, into a forward fold. Then flat back, hands on shins, look forward, stretch out those legs, move the body weight into the middle of the feet, and forward fold. Breathe in, sun salute. Let's reach up, nice big stretch, gentle back bend, and breathe out, hands to sides, back to chest. Deep breath in and out. Then sun salute, circle the arms back, open up the chest, and swan dive, forward fold. Beautiful. And then flat back, and then forward fold, breathing out, and then breathe in, step back to plank with your other leg, slide shoulders to hips, push through the heels, big breath in, and this time if you can, rock forward on your toes, lower yourself down into a plank. If you can't manage, just do the previous. And lifting up into high cobra. Tuck the toes under, down dog. Let's pause for a moment, move a little bit if it's comfy for you to do so. Okay, let's crouch, look between our thumbs, step the left foot forward, right foot forward, flat back, and forward fold, sun salute, reaching up, sit beautiful, and breathe out, hands to sides. Okay, we're going to do that 2 more times. Breathe in, sun salute. Nice big stretch up and breathe out. Bend forward. Forward fold. Flat back. Your hands might reach the floor now. And breathe out, forward fold. You can jump or step your feet back into plank. Okay, breathe in and rock forward if you can. Plank down and then breathe in, cobra, high cobra, lift up nice and high. Shoulders away from ears. Tuck toes under, breathe out, down dog. Let's pause here for 2 or 3 breaths. This is a little rest. Okay, crouch, look between your thumbs, and if you can, jump both feet forward and flat back, forward fold, and sun salute. Nice big stretch up, and breathe out, hands to sides, back to chest. Last one, breathe in, sun salute, and swan dive, forward fold, flat back, breathe out, forward fold, jump or step back to plank. Breathe in and breathe out. Plank yourself down. Elbows stay nice and close to the sides of the ribs. Then lift up into high cobra. Stretch your arms out. Tuck toes under. Down dog. All right, let's take a little pause here. And then crouch. And if you can, jump both feet forward. Forward fold. Flat back. Breathe out, forward fold, and a nice big breath in. Sun salute. And breathe out, hands to sides, back to chest. And let's take 3 deep breaths here. Okay, now we're going to do a series of slower stretches. Now we'll start in the mountain pose. So lift up nice and tall, top of the chest lifted, firm buttocks, firm tummy. Chin tucked in, back of the neck lengthened. Okay, so let's rotate the palms out. Breathe in, sun salute. And breathe out. And forward, forward fold as you breathe out. Flat back. And breathe out, forward fold. Now place your hands down so your palms are firmly on the floor and step your right foot back. Okay, so we wanted to have a nice big stretch back. Okay, so now we're going to, rather than leave our hands on the floor, we want to get a nice stretch through the spine. So we've got the hip stretch. Make sure your knee is just above your ankle. Try not to pull back, as that means you're going to miss out on the hip stretch. So move your hips forward and find that nice stretch. Now you can bring your hands to your knees and lift up tall. Shoulder blades down, tummy in, look forward. Now if you think you can manage a bigger stretch, lower your arms down. So this is going to work a little bit more into the hips and make you reach the floor. So now you're not holding onto your knee. You have to use a little bit more core strength. So let's see if we can do this one. Keep the spine nice and long, the shoulders down as much as you can. You have to hold them there, because they do want to come up all the time. Okay, take 3 big breaths. And remember to bring the breath down to the belly. Now we're going to take the right hand on the floor, fingers in line with the big toe of the left foot, and circle the left hand up to the ceiling. Now, look at your thumb if you can. Try to have your arms in a T position. Now the arm on the floor should be stretching up, so you should feel like you're reaching up to the ceiling with both arms, reaching. That's it, lovely. And of course you can always move your head to a more comfortable position. All right, let's take 3 big breaths here. And circle your hand back to your hip, and let's lift up onto the knee. Now if you do have any discomfort in your knee that's on the floor, you can always fold up a towel and put it underneath. Okay, so let's lift the toes up of our left foot. We're going to bend forward, so draw the navel in, push the hips back, and you'll get a nice big stretch in the back of the thigh. Now for some of you, you might be able to go a little lower, hands to floor, head to knee. And for those who find that the balance is quite good, you could hold your foot.
if you'd like to go into a bigger stretch, then let's sit down on the heel of our foot. Make sure it's between your buttocks, and then bend forward. Hands can be on shins, the floor, or around the feet. Now remember, shoulders are down away from ears, tighten up your tummy. So you're getting a much bigger stretch in the back of the leg, or perhaps it's very similar. Take 3 big breaths. Okay, beautiful. So let's lift up, and then we're going to walk our hands forward, tuck the back toe under, and flatten the foot down. And swing your arms up into a warrior one. Make sure the back foot is flat on the floor, and try not to straighten your front leg. So we get a bit lazy sometimes in yoga and we start to straighten the front leg. You need to bend that knee so it's just above your ankle, and you should feel a lovely big stretch in the back of the leg. So pushing through the outer edge of that foot down, and then draw the shoulder blades down, and the arms will lift up higher. So we need to make sure the shoulder blades are really firmly down. Try not to bend your elbows, stretch them up to the ceiling. You want to work the backs of the arms when you do this. It's quite challenging. Stretch your fingers out, gaze up if you can, just diagonally. Take 3 big breaths right into the front of your body. Okay, let's bring our hands to the floor and step back the back foot next to the front foot. Beautiful, going to a flat back. Big breath in, breathe out, forward fold, and sun salute. Let's circle the arms back, lift up the chest, firm up the buttocks. Beautiful, stretch up as high as you can, and then breathe out, hands back to chest. Let's do that again. Breathing in, and breathe out. Breathe in, sun salute. And swan dive, stretch it out. And then forward fold, flat back. And forward fold. And step back with your left foot, knee down. Okay, beautiful. Let's flatten the foot. And we're going to lift the hands to the knees again and just take a little check that our knee is in line with the ankle. So we've got that nice big stretch around the hip. So the front of the hip and a nice deep hip stretch. Okay, so you can stay here, but I want your shoulder blades down, chest lifted, and just gazing diagonally forward. And of course, if you can, just let those fingers drop to the floor, but shoulder blades stay down, tummy in. So nice big stretch. It's a big stretch. We're putting the weight into the front leg now. Okay, let's try 3 big breaths. Remember to bring your breath down to your belly. All right, let's lift up and lift those toes up. Push the hips back. Feel that big stretch in the back of the leg. Stay here if you want to. Bring your hands to the floor, head to knee. And you can also hold on to your foot. So make sure you're not too wobbly when you do this one. Okay, then hands to the floor, and let's sit down on the heel, heel between the buttocks. That's it, lovely. And then bend forward. Remember to bend the elbows to keep the shoulders away from the ears. Scoop the belly under. Take some big breaths into the back. All right, lovely. So let's press our knuckles down, lift back up. All right, now this time we're going to tuck the toes under, lift up, and we're going into a wide leg down dog. So have your feet parallel and just as wide as you can manage. And you're going to walk your hands forward, okay, and slide the shoulders to hips, tighten the tummy, and just let the head drop down. So this is a down dog, but with wide legs. All right, now I'm going to go sideways, because one of the common things I see is people walking their hands forward. So they're like this. It's not the same thing. Okay, so what I want you to do is walk your hands back, tighten up your tummy, lift your hips, and bring your chest towards your thighs. Well, you're going to move your body towards your thighs. So your hips are above your ankles. So they're not forward, they're not backwards, because that means you put the weight into your heels. You got the weight in the middle of your foot. And that's going to change the position. Now, slide your shoulders to your hips, tighten up the tummy, stretch the legs out. So you want a big stretch there. Now, can you see the difference? A very flat back and legs stretched out, hips above, ankles, but the weight in the middle of the feet. And I want you to stay there, stretch your arms. I want you to work the back of your upper arms. Your thighs should be working, your inner thighs should be getting a really good stretch. Okay, let's take 3 big breaths into our back. Okay, lovely. Now I'm going to turn around and face you again. So stay where you are. And then we're going to take our left hand under the center of our chest. I want you to check that your weight is evenly between your hand and your feet. Then lift your right hand up. So shoulders towards hips, tighten up your tummy and stretch your legs. Don't lean to one side. So you're not leaning to one side, okay? You're stretching both legs out and lifting the arm up to the ceiling. Now, of course, you can leave it up there or bring the arm behind the back. Hold your opposite thigh and twist a little more. Do keep the legs straight though. Don't move your body weight to one side. That's it. This is a bigger twist. Now again, adjust your head to a comfy position. The weight should be in the middle of your feet. Put some weight through your hands as well. Okay, let's take 2 more breaths. Big breaths down to the belly. And then bring your right hand where your left hand was. So pick that left hand up and lift that hand up to the ceiling. Now stretch your arms out. So stretch both arms out, stretch your legs. You can bring your arm behind your back, hold your opposite thigh, draw the shoulder blades down and weight evenly through the hands and the feet. Let's take 3 big breaths. Okay, let's bring that hand back down to the floor. All right, lovely. And now we're going to walk our hands around to the front. So pivot your feet around, face forward, then lower your back heel down and lift your arms up into a warrior 1. So make sure your hips are facing forward, so no sideways. Adjust your feet if you need to. Make sure those hips are facing forward. Roll the shoulders back, draw them down, reach up. Now, are you drawing back with your leg or are you bending your knee properly so your knee is in line with your ankle? Okay, lovely. Gazing up diagonally, reach the arms up to the ceiling, stretch them out. You feel a stretch in the back of the leg? Take 3 big breaths. Okay, bring your hands down to the floor, step your back foot next to your front foot. Forward fold and a flat back. Forward fold and a big breath in, sun salute. Beautiful. And breathe out, hands back to sides, back to chest. Let's take 3 big breaths. Now hopefully you're feeling quite warm. All right, now we're going to do a little bit of balance. So we'll start off with a star pose, and then we're going into a half moon. So we can do this 2 ways. You can start off with your half moon, and then put your foot down, bring your hand to the floor, then lift your back leg up, and lift your arm up if you want to and turn your head towards me. That's if you want to do it that way. Otherwise, you're going to come with me and take a more challenging option. So let's start off with our feet in a V. Firm up the thighs, squeeze the bottom of the buttocks, tighten the tummy. All right, lovely. The feet are in a very good position now. I'm going to take the left foot out to the side. Keep your buttocks firm. Lift your arms up. So I want you to try and lift the top of the chest. So if you cave it in, you'll find it nowhere near as comfortable as lifting your chest up so your back can hold your arms up. Okay, so let's bend the right knee and lift the left leg up. All right, so that's a nice star pose. Stretching out the legs, stretching out the arms. Okay, so if you're coming with me, you're going to lean a bit more to the side. Okay, let's make that a bigger star pose. All right. And we're going to go down a little bit lower. Okay, and we're going down to the count of 3 to the floor. 3, 2, ooh. Don't worry about wobbles, just keep going. All right, so you should have landed your hand on the floor or just slightly upwards from the floor, almost there. And that's always a little more challenging, not to have your fingers right on the floor, but that's only if you're very good. But don't stay up too high, of course. Okay, lift the back leg up to hip height, straighten the standing leg, arms in a T position. Look towards me if you can. And let's take 3 breaths. Now bending the knee and let's lift up nice and slowly. 3, 2, 1, back to star pose. All right, lovely. Take 3 breaths here. And flat your foot down. How did you go on that one? One side's always a little bit better than the other. So let's have a go on the other side. Feet in a V. Lift up tall. Okay, step your right foot out to the side. Nice stretchy legs and lift your arms up at the top of your chest. Okay, lovely. Now let's bend the left knee and lift the right foot up. Now stretch the left leg, stretch the arms out. Okay, beautiful. Let's take 3 breaths. Now let's lean a little bit further over. And a little bit more. Now can you go down to the count of 3 to half moon? 3, 2, 1. That's it, lovely. Now straighten up your standing leg and look towards me if you can. And lift up your leg hip height, other arm to the ceiling so you're in a T. How are we going? Keep the standing leg straight. And let's take 3 breaths. And then bend the knee. Let's float the hand up nice and slowly. Slowly, here we go. Okay, lovely. Stretch the arm and leg out, chest lifted. Take 3 breaths here. And flat your foot down, flat your hands down. Now I hope you didn't come up too quickly. So you've got to keep it at a steady pace going down and up. All right, so let's get ourselves into a position with our feet a little bit wider and spread the toes out. So we've got a squat. So what you want is your heels lined up with the outer edge of your hips. And if you can't manage a squat, just go into a butterfly pose. All right, let's breathe in, reach up as high as you can and breathe out. Coming down into our squat, elbows inside the knees. Let's push them apart a little. That's it, beautiful. All right, now I want you to work on drawing your spine up tall. Elbows inside the knees, push them apart and your wrists should be in line with the elbows. Keep your tummy in. It should be quite comfy for you. And if it's not, make adjustments so you can manage. Now let's lift one heel up and down, lift the other up and down. Let's lift both heels up and go down. Okay, so now we're going to bring our hands to the floor and come down onto our knees into a cat position. Now let's do a few cat and cow poses, just to give our back a little stretch. Breathe in, nice big stretch, and breathe out, cow pose. Breathe in, cat arch, and breathe out, cow pose. Let's try that one more time. Nice big stretch in the back, and breathe out, cow pose. Now flatten your feet and we're going to take a walk with our hands around to our right foot. Have a look at the foot. Keep your arms nice and strong. Can you feel that nice stretch around the side of your ribs? Breathe into that stretch. Okay, let's do 2 more. Okay, walk your hands back around to the front. We're going to lift up onto our knees, and we've got a camel, so I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing. Take your hands into fists, bring them behind the back, put them just above the lower back, draw the elbows in so you stretch across the front of your chest and drop those shoulder blades down. Now squeeze your buttocks, push your hips forward, and you can drop the chin to the chest or gaze up diagonally or lower your head back, but only if you've got a very strong neck. Now let's take 3 breaths. Okay, dive your hands down by your sides, chin to chest, relax the shoulders down, breathe into your back. Okay, let's lift up again. I'll turn and face you. And then we're going to walk our hands around to our left foot and breathe into the ribs on the right. So the ribs that are stretching open. That will encourage the stretch. Take 2 more breaths. All right. Walk your hands around to the front again. Now I'm going to turn sideways once more, so you can see me do a more advanced camel. All right, let's lift the arms up to shoulder height, and I want you to lean your body back. Make sure you squeeze your buttocks, push your hips forward. Otherwise, you'll be doing a little sit. Now we don't want to do the little sit, so a little squeeze in the bottom of the butt, hips forward, arms up. Breathe in, breathe out, lean back. Can you feel that in your thighs? Breathe in. Now breathe out, lean back, and then bring one hand to your ankle, then the other hand to the ankle. Widen your chest. Take 3 big breaths. Now go to a normal camel if you can't manage this one. Go back to the previous one. Okay, let's lift up. I'm going to dive our hands by our sides into a child's pose. Relax the shoulders down. Breathe into your back. Stretch your shoulder blades apart. Okay, let's lift up. Now we're going to take a seat. And we'll extend the left leg forward and just bring the right foot over. Now that's a nice simple position. It's quite comfy. Make sure the top of the ribs are lifted and the spine is tall. For those who'd like a little bit more, you can come into the alert pose. And ideally both hips are supposed to be on the floor and the feet are nice and even here. And we're going to do a cow face pose. So let's lift the arm up, bend the elbow. Now I want you to tuck your chin in and drop your shoulder blades down. So you don't have this rounded look. You want to lift the top of the chest, drop the shoulder blades down. And you can stay in this position if you want to, or take your right arm behind your back and come into the full cow face pose. Now if you can't reach your hands together, if you can't link your fingers or hold your palms, then just hold your clothes. Okay, sit tall. Take nice big breaths right down to the belly. Okay, beautiful. Let's take one more breath. And then release the hands. Now, for those people who have one leg extended, just change your legs over. For those who have their legs in the same position as me, you turn your hands into fists, place your hands down on the floor, between your foot and your knee on one side, and between your foot and your hip on the other. Lift up and turn around, and you'll have your legs the opposite way. I hope you managed that. Otherwise, just sit the same way as me, or have your leg forward as you did before. All right, let's do this on the other side. So lift your right arm up, lift the spine up, drop the shoulders down, tummy in. Okay, how's that position going? You're quite comfy? Then bring the other arm behind the back and see if you can reach your hands. Now remember, sitting tall, don't drop your chin down. Keep your chin tucked in and the back of your neck lengthened with your spine. Okay, let's take 3 big breaths. All right, beautiful. Lower the hands down and let's get ready to lie down. So come with me, take your hands behind your knees and lift up tall. Breathe in, breathe out. Tighten the tummy, walk the hands down the backs of your legs and take a lie down. We're going to walk our feet to the end position, bring the knees to the chest one at a time. Now flatten the tummy down and stretch the lower back out. Let's take a little rock from side to side. Okay, let's lift the legs up to the ceiling and point the toes to the ceiling, slide the kneecaps up if you can, firm up your thighs. If your legs are bent, that is okay. Flatten the tummy down. Now, if you can, you're coming up into a shoulder stand, otherwise you stay in the rod pose. So shoulder stand, hands behind the back, thumbs around the waist, chin tucks in towards the chest, shoulder blades are flat on the mat. Let's rotate our ankles one way. Now don't turn your head towards me. When you're in this position, it's not good for the neck. Okay, and rotate your feet the opposite direction. Now let's pedal the feet, so point through the toes, flex through the heels. Can you feel that nice stretch in the calves? Flex and point your toes. We've got 2 more. Now bring your knees to your nose, or you can bring your legs over your head and hands over the head. You can drop your feet into your hands in a plow pose, or if that's uncomfortable, if you brought your knees to your nose, then you can drop straight into a dead man pose. And roll yourself down, 1 vertebrae at a time. And let's bring those knees to the chest. Take a little rock from side to side. And let's bring our arms to a T position, lowering the knees to one side, turning the head to the other. Take 3 big breaths into the side of your ribs. And bring your knees to your chest again, and let's lower the knees down to the other side. Turn your head the opposite way. Try to keep your shoulder blades flat on the floor. Let's take 3 breaths. Okay, bring yourself lying down on the mat again. Now you can have your feet as wide as the mat. Drop the knees in or come into a butterfly pose just for several breaths. And then walk your shoulder blades downwards, nod chin to chest, and take your left hand on your heart center and your right hand on your belly. And let's take a few breaths in this position. And then extend your legs into relaxation position. Bring your arms to your sides, palms up.
And just bring your arms a little bit away from the sides of your body. Drop your feet outwards, relax your hips. Move your head from side to side if you need to. And then relax. Bring your breath down to your belly. You can sigh your breath out if you want to. Make it an audible sigh. Breathe in through the nose. Let the breath go. And again. Just spend a little bit of time here. Move your fingers and your toes and walk your feet to the end position. And roll over onto your side. Rest your head on your arm. And lift up to a seated position. Just resting your hands on the knees for the moment. Lower your hands down, big breath. Hands over the head in prayer, and then breathe out, bring thumbs to heart center. And just nod your chin gently towards your collarbones. Take 3 deep breaths to energize your body. Peaceful heart and a peaceful mind, and a wonderful day. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Katy Mair. Remember to subscribe to my channel and like me. I look forward to working with you again.